Hi, I'm John Kellogg, Director of Break the Cycle Global. Very excited to share some things that just happened when I was in East Africa for the last month. As many of you know, our goal has been to help create Christian communities there in East Africa, and we're working in 4 specific areas: Usangi, which is a fishing village on Lake Victoria; in Nyakesi, a village outside of Tororo in Uganda; Mathari, which is the oldest slum in Nairobi, but also in Samburu. 6 years ago, I went to Samburu, and a gentleman there by the name of John Jamalatipo said, John, nobody will go with me into the desert to take the gospel to my people. It's a hardship area, and I can't even get local Samburus to go with me. Would you go? And so I felt like the Lord said, John, I have sons in the desert, but who will tell them? So we went. Well, as we came out of that area, a chief there and the elders gave us 5 acres in an area called Sura Adoru. And so we began a little work there, a mission center. We built a community center so the chief and elders would have somewhere to meet outside if it was raining outside. And we built a little kitchen and latrine. And then, as many of you know, this last year, I met a lady called Steria, who was teaching a group of about 50 little kids, 3 to 5, 6-year-olds, under a tree, and had a little chalkboard leaned up against the tree, and she would go every day and teach them, and had been for some time. And so I said, Steria, you need to bring those children into our building, and we need to go ahead and start our school in this area. So we began that last fall, and right now there's a group of folks that are raising the money so that we'll be able to hire the teachers and buy the uniforms and the materials. But that's not what this particular video is about. What this video is about is on my recent trip. I just got back, and the chairman, chief, and leadership of 2 conservancies, Karisia Conservancy and Nkoteiya Conservancy in Samburu, approached me and said, John, we need your help. We need for you to help us transition and to bring our communities forward and to help bring peace and security into our communities. Now, what you may not know is the Samburu are pastoralists, and that means that they raise goats, sheep, camels, and cows, and they travel. We would consider them sort of nomadic, and depending on where the grass and water is, they will travel. But also what happens is when there's times of drought, like we just recently have gone through there, they compete with the wildlife. So in this area, there are many lions and leopards and elephants, giraffes, zebra, all the kind of animals you imagine out in the bush area of East Africa. And so they will compete and actually kill this wildlife because they're competing for the grass and water. So one of the things that's happened is there's a group called Northern Rangelands Trust that is a nonprofit group that's gone in, and they are trying to help establish conservancies in these areas and help the communities understand that if they will take care of the wildlife and take care of the environment, that then we can help take care of them as a people by building safari lodges, because the wildlife will be healthy and happy, and the visitors will come to see the wildlife, the elephants and lions and leopards, and then money from that from that lodge can help build infrastructure and actually create communities, which again, Break the Cycle Global is all about creating Christian communities. So I've just been asked if I would build a lodge in Nkoteiya, and then also by the group in Karisia. I've been given their jewel, which is this forest called Karisia Forest, and asked to help them establish themselves as conservancies. So I met with the CEOs of Northern Rangelands Trust, and they are very generous towards this cause, and they appreciate the trust that the communities have in myself, enough that they've said that they have $150,000 that they will put towards the building of the lodge, and that I need to match those monies here in the U.S. One of the most beautiful things is at the end of our meeting with the chief and chairman and leadership is the head administrator stood up and said, John, we know you came here as pastor, but we believe this too is God's work. And will you help us to bring our communities forward. We believe that if you will, God will bless us and we'll grow, and then asked if I would pray. So this has been a huge opportunity of additional influence and favor in the Samburu area. And again, God has told us that He has given us this community, and now He's elevated us to deal with government there, with local leadership, community leadership, and now also the leadership of the Northern Rangelands Trust. So thanks for allowing me to introduce myself to you in this short video and tell you a little bit about the very exciting opportunity to work together to steward God's creation, both the environment, wildlife, and the people there, and help create Christ-centered communities. I need your help. My request is that I could have 15 minutes of coffee time, office time, to have lunch together, that we could speak more about this, answer any questions that you have, provide some documentation. I need to return in July to be a part of the building process with the monies that the NRT has already put towards this project, and that's why I need to match these monies very quickly from the U.S. side. I know that this is God's vision, so I know that He's made provision, and He does that through people like yourself. I ask that you prayerfully consider our getting together and being a part of this exciting opportunity in Samburu. Thanks. I look forward to hearing from you soon.